we live, baby. In my Alchemist bag today. Felt like making something spooky. I'll be with y'all in just a minute. Just sharing the links over on Facebook. We're gonna get this joint started. One more share of MPC Gang and I'm good to go. Can't type today. Y'all fans of Razzcast? You remember the Soul on Ice remix? That's what this reminds me of. I always loved that guitar. I think that was Diamond D on the beat. Definitely a classic. All right, we are good. Got it all shared. What's good, y'all? Thanks for tuning in today. This is week 2 of the weekend warm-up. And basically my game plan, I think I told y'all last week with this, is really kind of just get ready for the weekend, man. It's kind of like when you got a full 9 to 5 or you just been busy all week, you get your little bit of time when you get home. I actually, they say life is about tough decisions. And I figured out today, I couldn't make any. I went to the liquor store and I had to make a tough decision. But they had both my favorite brewskis, yo. This is Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. And this is a Beat of Purple Haze. But you really shouldn't do this, because I actually just dripped some water on my X. They say it's a cardinal sin to bring drinks to the studio. Might have a point. But yeah, man, hope y'all week went well. Looking forward to cooking up today. I had a couple ideas. I've been really going hard with making my own drum loops, really the last couple years. So I kind of wanted to make some more, not really full drum loops, but like hi-hat loops. That's what I did with that beat right there. I actually made all the drums, or not made them, but programmed all the drums in, what's it called? Not Superior Drummer. Give me a second. I always forget the name of this joint. Initials, Addictive Drum. Yeah. So Addictive Drums is basically, it's pretty much like real sample drum kits. Addictive Drums 2. That's what it is. And yeah, man, I mean, it gives you a real dope kind of palette to start with, as far as like, if you want authentic sounding, live sounding drums. I like live sounding drums, but I like those dead kits. You know what I'm saying? The ones where the snare isn't ringing. I don't like that clang on the snare. I like it to be just sharp. You know what I mean? Let me just mute up the loop real quick so you can hear it. it's like when you got that kind of plugin, you know, and you run it through some channel strips and some stuff to make it sound more analog, even though it's already analog recorded. It's a beautiful thing, you know what I mean? Because you really don't have to sample breaks anymore if you can make your own. And I've really just been studying drum techniques, nothing too crazy, but just kind of like some of the little rolls they do. You know, just try to add some authenticity to the drum loop. So yeah, it's something I've been doing for the last couple of years, and I've been starting a lot of beats that way, making a hi-hat loop. And sometimes I'll take my sample snares and use them, my sample kicks and snares. I'll try to find stuff that matches, you know, kind of well with the hi-hats. And sometimes I'll use the ones in the kit, but usually the ones in the kit sound a little too live for me. So you either got to beef them up with your own, or, you know, or change them out, layer them, whatever. So yeah, give me 1 second. I'm actually, I'm going to get a cloth real quick to make sure I don't get anything in my MPC. Give me a second. All right, I'm back. Pardon the chair too. This thing's super squeaky. But yeah, it's just a couple drops. I just don't want to take any chances. Y'all know how it is. But yeah, man, it's been a very productive week for me. I haven't had a chance to make much music. What about y'all? Y'all had a chance to get in the lab this week, or are y'all pretty much weekend warriors like me? Let me check on the chat real quick. Fresh produce, site not playing. Hey man, trying to stay active out here. You know what I'm saying? I said I was back. I was back. Shout out to Ken Hart. Another installment of Standalone Soul. Absolutely. That's on the way. I'm working on volume 5. I think we got 3 more. So, well, 2 more digital download versions. And then the 7th one is going to be exclusive for everybody who got the deluxe edition. Fresh Produce by XLN. Yes, I think XLN makes Addictive Drummer. Yes. John Connor says, Sammy always bumps lovely. Sammy, I must have missed that, bro. Oh, Sam Adams. Yeah. I'm tripping. Gotta forgive me. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and save that real quick. And we'll start something from scratch. I wanted to give y'all the choice whether we cook something up from scratch or work on some of the dope sample packs that guys have been sending me. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna save this joint. All right. Let's call it Alchemist Vibes. All right, bet. Shout out to the homie Trips in here too. I know you like those addictive, yeah, man. I know you like those spooky Griselda type beats. Carbon Vibe said Weekend Warrior, John Connor Weekend Warrior. So it looks like most of us don't get a chance to really get in here during the week. Deuce Cruz said that Serato sample and changed the game. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of things about it. Serato sample is interesting, man, because I haven't messed with it because it's one of those things where I was having a conversation with one of the homies yesterday, and we were talking about, you know, kind of all these cheat code plugins and stuff that are out now. And, you know, I don't really use them because my philosophy is I think those type of plugins are cool if you don't like the process of chopping up samples and finding the key and stretching them and all that stuff. If you just want kind of like quick inspiration, you want the computer to do a lot of the work for you as far as like, you know, picking chops and stuff like that. I understand, you know what I mean? I'm the kind of dude that like, I really enjoy, you know, I really enjoy, that's why I bought an MPC. I didn't buy an MPC because it's the fastest thing out and I can create 20 beats in an hour with it. I got it because I actually love sitting down, chopping stuff up. You know what I'm saying? I like using the pads. I like programming things manually. A lot of guys complain about like the MIDI import on the MPCs, and I understand it's a pain. Like it's a pain, especially if you're creating, you know, loops and stuff in other plugins, you want to drag them in. But I haven't really tripped too much over it because I really like to just manually do things. And it's not like I'm, you know, just super old school. It's one of those things like the example I made yesterday was you can go out and buy a table, but some people actually like going in the garage and making a table. That's just the type of dude I am. You know what I'm saying? Like you can make things super fast, or you can, I guess, eventually buy a machine to make a table for you. But I like a good mix of technology and using my hands and staying creative. So I don't mess with stuff that makes music too fast, not because I feel like the quality is any less or anything, but I honestly like enjoy the process of sitting here and creating things. So I think people are going to come to that, you know, come to that point where, you know, you make 100 beats in a week and it's like, you're like, damn, what do I do now? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, are you making beats for a quota, or are you making beats because you enjoy making music? You know what I'm saying? And another analogy I made was the Game Genie. When the Game Genie came out back in the 90s, for the Super Nintendo, everybody's going crazy. Like, yo, you got to get the Game Genie. And, you know, people got it. And Game Genie was like a thing that, you know, it created codes. It made a whole bunch of cheat codes for your video games. And you just program them in or whatever, and then it just made your video games perform differently. So like your characters would do all kind of this, all of these different like moves that you normally would have had to do a whole combination of buttons for. It was like, it would just make you Ryu and Ken do Hadoukens with one button. You know what I'm saying? It was like every game, it just had mad cheat codes for every game. And everybody ended up putting their Game Genie in their sock drawer, or, you know, getting rid of it. It just collected dust, because after probably, you know, the first 3-4 weeks of having it, you're like, damn, all my favorite games are whack now. You know what I'm saying? Because they're so easy to beat. And that's kind of how I feel about music right now. It's like, at some point, you know, we're going to have to make a choice. How convenient do we want to make it for ourselves? It's a personal choice. It's not, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, if you want to make 1,000,000 beats and go out there and try to sell them, and you have like a factory, you know what I'm saying? And that's how you're treating your music career. Like you're trying to crank out volume, nothing wrong with it. Where I'm at with it is I just honestly enjoy what I enjoy cooking up, man. I enjoy putting my hands on these pads, the knobs, you know, chopping up the samples manually. There's certain things that I'm glad are faster, you know what I'm saying? Definitely, like time stretch and all that stuff. I feel like that's super convenient. And I think that's cool with the Serato stuff, like that it warps so quickly and so well. So that part of it is really cool for me. Like not for me, but I think that part is dope. But I'm just not really interested in stuff that speeds the process up to the point where it takes away the things I enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, like, you know, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out for people who don't like making music. And I think that's the difference. Do you enjoy making it, or is it a chore to you? And if it's a chore, then by all means, you know, get stuff that makes the process faster. But this is fun, man. This is what I love doing. So that's why I chose the direction I did. There's definitely faster gear out there than MPCs. But as far as the feel and how it, you know, you're physically, you know, working on your music, it's beautiful, man. There's no replacement for it, in my opinion. So yeah, man, that's my little soliloquy to get started. Yeah, the one argument is quality over quantity, and I don't think the like Serato samples and stuff like that necessarily make the quality any less. I just think it. I mean, you can make a bunch of dope stuff really quick. It's just a matter of how connected to the music do you feel if you didn't really do it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the thing, man. If you can just crank out a whole bunch of something and you didn't really take time on it, how connected to it do you feel? You know, if you buy somebody a chair, it doesn't mean as much as if you sit down and make them a chair. You know what I'm saying? You're not connected to it. Like, yeah, you spent your money on it or whatever, but it's not the same as spending your time and energy on it. And I think that's something that a lot of producers are gonna come around to. Like, damn, it's not even fun to me. Or maybe they'll move on to something else. Or maybe everybody will be millionaires because they'll just have AI make all their beats, and AI will. But then who's gonna buy them? Because AI rappers will have all, they'll have all the sales. Anyway, man, I can go all day. So yeah, man. Let me go ahead and get something started, man. Doing a whole lot of talking and no cooking. I'm gonna go back to addictive drum and try to come up with a little pattern. Change the screen up real quick. I don't know if y'all seen last week's episode, but this is just an issue I keep having with OBS, man. It just keeps changing up my camera for no reason. So now this second camera, I just gotta adjust it real quick. It keeps making me like mad small. That's way too close, yeah. All right, that's a little better. All right, bet. All right, so yeah, let me go ahead and pull up addictive drums and see if we can come up with something new. I'm gonna pick a different kit. And they have so many different sounding kits too, which is kind of crazy. Try this bone dry preset. You know, people don't use cymbal rides like they used to. I used to love those break beats with cymbal rides, like what was that, Daytona 500 with the Bob James joint? I kind of like that kit, but let's see what else is here. That reminds me of like the, what's the name? Teddy Pendergrass joints. Not Teddy Pendergrass, Barry White. All right, and what I usually do is I'll go to 16 levels. Give me the overhead. Get a tempo on that. little too slow. Speed that up. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll come up with like a basic pattern and I'll change out which actual sounds it's hitting on. So So usually once I come with a pattern, they have so many different hi-hat variations. All right, cool. All right, so I think I'm gonna run with some of my snares from Standalone Soul, just because I made them really kind of match these type of hats. I like to load up like 3 or 4 snares minimum, just to make sure I find something that matches well. Let's go to another one. Go to volume 2. Kind of hard. Very old school sounding though. I gotta go back to y'all and see. Sounds like Locomotive, but Nas said JMS. Oh, Locomotive by Nas. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Tams and Shakes. Ah, that's a good idea. I think the tambourines and stuff are like bank 5. More cowbell, you know what I'm saying? Got a lot of cowbell in this kit. I don't hear any tambourines though. I'm actually going through all the banks to see. Let me look at the plugin and see if they got anything on there. Yeah, it's just cowbells. I think I can replace them though. It's like a flex instrument, right? So extras, tams, okay. It's a little heavy. I think that pattern is just too old school for me, man. I feel like it's got that Benito Applebaum kind of swing to it, and it might be too much for me. I feel like when you have that kind of bounce to it, it's almost like you got to make the sample too happy, which like those weren't my favorite kind of songs back in the day. Like De La Soul, and I love De La, and rest in peace, the True Goy, but I liked Stakes is High a lot more than I liked their first couple joints. So yeah, I might have boxed myself in with the hi-hat pattern. Maybe we'll scratch that and scratch the hi-hat pattern and come back to it. Maybe. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna scrap it. Clear it out. And then we'll try the hi-hats again with the kick and snare. Because I feel like the kick and snare they're much harder than the hi-hats were. Find a different kit, man. That one's just not hi-hats just aren't doing it for me. I'm a sucker for those kind of like clangy metal hi-hats. Leave that end open for like a roll or something. All right, let's see what we got instrument wise. Y'all think I should go into sample packs, or you think I should try to come up with something from scratch? Good looks on that, Will. That's one of the joints from Standalone Soul 2, I believe. Hold up. Yeah, Standalone Soul 2. No, actually, I picked the snares out of 4, I believe. But I try to make sure, you know, everything kind of has a similar type of vibe. All right. It's from scratch, sample pack, scratch. Let me see. Scratch. All right, scratch it is. Looks like the early votes are in. Let me see what we got here. I'm gonna go to Old Trusty on the plugins, which is, for me, it's Reason. I'm really close to getting Complete though. I think Complete is in my near future. I kind of want to start with some strings. It's kind of hard. Let me see. What? Come on now. Too easy. You know I gotta go for that bass line. I'm already doing it. And I think I'm gonna use I got these quick joints I go to in Standalone Soul 4. I put my favorite bass lines in there, like 3 of them. I made them into key groups. Let me get the top down view here. Run with that one for now. That's weird. This should be, we gotta bring the octave down on. There it goes. I think it's the wrong scale. All right, let's start there. on undo. I gotta hit you twice. And bring that down an octave. Program edit, and let's see if we can smooth this out a little bit. You know what I've been forgetting? You gotta put this on all. Shorten this one up just a little bit. Last third kind of running together. Let me just tighten it up a little bit. Yeah, these notes are a little long. I'm gonna do something I rarely ever do, and I'm actually gonna get an EP. I always forget to use EPs, even though I love the way they sound. For some reason, I don't make a whole lot of beats that work with EPs, but I think this one will. And I'll probably use my, I use my piano preset and then swap it out. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll use one of those EPs from those Akai joints. Yeah, let's do that. All right, cool. Back up top. All right, so I got the Fabric XL up, and maybe we'll try to get an electric piano out of here. Wait, isn't there a actual, okay, there's electric, I know that. I was trying to see if there's stage EP, right? Yeah, I'll be forgetting all these new plugins. EPs just sound so soft to me. Oh man. Like some of them are crazy, right? Like your Rhodes and all that stuff. And I don't really know how to play, but I like the more kind of like soulful sounding EPs, not like the R&B-ish type ones. This sounds like some Bob James type stuff. Should have put that on another track. I think I will. Copy track. Yeah. No, actually, I don't need to do that. I'll just go to 7 and use the same plugin. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah. I had a guitar loaded up from the last one. of matches with the brewskis, you know what I'm saying? The purple hazes, maybe the purple hazes got me in a chill mode. Check in with y'all real quick. Where'd my chat go? You losing focus, bro. What you mean, man? I thought I was on to something. I thought I was on to something. I'm kind of feeling this joint. Kendrick Lamar. Yeah. Maybe like a feature, right? Like you get somebody like a singer to do the song, and then you got paid out on the feature. I can hear that. Homie Masada in here, what's good? Appreciate the fire emojis, y'all. Appreciate you, Masada. Hit the like button, please. It's been a long journey coming back, y'all. It's only my second stream in probably 8 months, man. I just got back last week. If you're just tuning in, had to take a hiatus, man. Tend to the family. But yeah, I got a nice little routine going, and we're gonna do this every Friday, cook something up. I like this, man. I'm gonna save this. Dilated. Yeah, you know what's funny? I actually was watching an interview with Evidence yesterday. I watched the joint he did with Talib Kweli, and I watched another one, and I didn't realize Evidence was so tied in. I mean, I wasn't a huge, Dilated fan, but I always loved their beats, but I just didn't hear that much of their music. But I didn't know how tied in he was, man, with, the whole, Alchemist and Cypress Hill and all them mugs. It's crazy. It's leaning left coast for sure. Yeah, anytime I throw EPs into something, man, it's I don't know, maybe that's what it is. Like, I tend to go heavy Dre, West Coast kind of vibes, because anytime I have smacking drums, I think Dre. I went through a whole Dre phase, I went through like a Primo phase first, then I went through like a Beat Miners phase, then I went through a Dre phase. And when I say phase, like just learning the techniques, right? Like really studying the drums and the mixing. And that's probably what I got most out of studying Dre, was like getting my drums to crack properly, knowing how to use gates, knowing how to use compressors, EQing your stuff properly, and the importance of getting like good quality channel strips, you know what I'm saying? Because that man mixes on the best of the best mixing boards. So what I try to do is something like this, I would definitely run through, my favorite plugins. And it's subtle, because, you guys who use channel strips know it's not like a huge noticeable thing, but say something like this EP. Let me get to the screen real quick, y'all. All right, so this, I already have this black box design on it, and because the Akai joints sound good, but they don't sound that good. You know what I'm saying? This is that Plugin Alliance black box analog design joint, and when you crank that saturation knob right there, it comes at about 50%. You gotta turn it on and off, and I like to put a little air on stuff. But this triode is cool. Definitely adds some. These are like tubes, so you can turn up your two different types of tubes, and it's a noticeable difference. Like you can bypass it. Where to bypass at? So that's without it. Here's with it. It kind of brings out the stereo feel more and definitely more presence. I think the bass is a little loud. Let me look at the mix real quick. I gotta shout out the homie CMP, man. Ever since he put his little mixing cheat sheet up in MPC Gang, I remember seeing the bass like should be around -9 dB. And I really find that is a sweet spot, like somewhere around there, sometimes a little less, but rarely more than 9. Usually if it's more than 9, it's like, it's blazing through the track too hard. The snare is super cracking. I might have to turn that down just a smidge. But yeah, I like this joint. Let me go ahead and save it while we chopping it up. What I've been liking to do too is take the drums and let me see what we got here. All right, so I already got the black box on there and I got the focus right. So I might not do it on this one. Sometimes if I've already processed the hi-hat separately from the kick and snare, I'll just leave it alone, because the way I design my kicks and snares on my sound packs is like they're already processed, you know what I mean? So I usually don't want to process them too much. But if it's like a non-processed kit, I'll make a subgroup mix, you know what I'm saying? I'll run this over to sub 1, the kicks and snares, and then I'll run the hi-hats over to sub 1, and then I'll throw like a channel strip on it. So it might be too much right now, but I'm gonna just see what it sounds like. Back this compressor off just a little bit. I'm gonna bring the input down a little bit. Turn the gate off, limit off. This joint's coming in hot. Yeah, some of these presets I already got set up with what's this, Sound Toys effects rack, and I think this is a guitar preset I made a long time ago. But if I really want to like crank it up, I'll throw in this Devil Oak joint. Sounds a little dreamier that way. Bring it down some. these cameras keep getting all weird like this. All right, that's all saved. Yeah, I like that. I definitely like that. Let's see if start something new. EP can sound awesome with distortion. Probably not what you're going for here, though. Yeah, I think you throw a little distortion on it. It definitely gives you kind of like a little more of aggressive feel to it, right? Like put some bite on it. I definitely like, I like EPs that are kind of distorted. Definitely like Stevie Wonder type stuff, I guess. I mean, his are like lightly distorted, nothing too crazy, but. Gomon says, do you have to add reverb if you want to tuck it in the mix more? I personally am a huge reverb fan. I mean, I try, like I went through a phase where everything was just super reverbed, and that takes the punch out of it. So I like reverb more than like modern mixing techniques. Modern mixing stuff, you don't really hear the reverb much. I like it more than that. I kind of like a good 70s, you know, style reverb, you know what I'm saying, on a lot of stuff. Even in the background, like I like my breaks with the snare. Like I always like my snares to have a good amount of reverb. I was always a fan of like Havoc from Mobb Deep, and he had that kind of, you know, he had that snare and the rim shot with the reverb on it. It was so fire. That was a quick banger. Appreciate it, Gomon. True Papa, appreciate you, man. I seen your comment earlier, man. I appreciate that too, bro. That's a dime right there. I appreciate you. Yeah, man, y'all been showing a lot of love on the channel, man. It's been great coming back. Like the love on the channel and the comments has been phenomenal. It's really what I miss the most. You know what I'm saying? The politics of YouTube, meaning like dealing with companies and all that stuff, and fanboys and all that kind of stuff. That part is annoying, but the part I love is just chopping it up with y'all, man. You know, love on the channel, and like, you know, when I try to just share some information that works for me, and, you know, it ends up helping a lot of people, it's just dope, man. You really can't beat the feeling when people are like, yo, this is just what I needed. You know what I mean? Those kind of comments go a long way. So that's good stuff, man. All right, so let's see what we can do next. We definitely went from scratch. Maybe I'll dig in a sample pack this time, or we can go scratch again. Y'all want to hear more on the Fabric XL? Because I've been using them a lot more lately. So I don't know if everybody here has them already, but they're pretty functional. You know what I'm saying? Like the Akai Air, I guess the Air bundle plugins or whatever they're called, the instrument plugins. I really like them. I mean, they grew on me. I had a problem with kind of like early on, you guys just saw my videos where like the issues I was having with them was more kind of like repetition on the sounds. But what I found is like, if you like most of my plugins, I usually find a good handful of presets that I go back to for most of the stuff, and that's kind of where they are. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a handful of stuff that I like going back to. I really like the bass sounds. I just feel like they need a little more oomph to them. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of layer their not all the bass sounds, but the electric bass. A lot of those type of sounds, they sound dope. Like the top range is really authentic sounding, but the low end is kind of missing. So that's the only thing, you know, I'm trying to figure out a fast way to layer those basses so I make them more of my style. All right, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, that turned real mellow real quick with the EP. I always ignored this OPX4. The only time I find myself using it is when I'm doing like accent sounds, right? So like after I got my main melody and stuff. But that's because most of the beats I make are like, you know, they're more kind of soulful, I guess you could say, or kind of like acoustic instruments mostly. You know what I'm saying? I like instruments from like the 60s, 70s are my favorite. So I don't use a whole bunch of synth sounds, but I kind of want to challenge myself today and see if I can make this plugin into something that I would use. I don't think it's gonna be this patch, I'll tell you that much. Magical type beats. All right. Yeah, like whenever I see like atmosphere, let me see if I can show y'all that. Anytime you see atmosphere as atmospheric as like a category, it's probably not gonna be my bag, man. But hold on, let me switch the camera. I'm probably not gonna use atmospheric sounds very often. It's dope, man, but it's so magical. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of these atmospheric joints because it's a little too much for me. I'm trying to challenge myself here. Maybe we'll go with the plucks and see what they sound like. I mean, here's, man, listen, we'll have to work with it. Now, the issue I have is my ears are kind of tuned for like 70s and, 60s and 70s instruments, right? So the highs on something like this are just killing my ears. So I usually gotta throw something on it like maybe the black box again. Ooh, it's so harsh. I think that's my issue with digital stuff these days, man. It's so harsh in the top end. And they say the older you get, you're supposed to lose some of that high frequency perception, but not me, man. That high frequencies be tearing my ears up. I'm gonna run it through the Focusrite and see if we can knock off some of that harshness. Let me bring it down an octave. And do a little humanize to it and kind of see if we can make it sound a little less stiff. All right, maybe we'll use it again and see what the leads sound like. I don't know why I thought that was, oh, okay. I must have hit something because that should be, hold up. Oh, I'm thinking it's an 8-bar loop. Let me double it up. Add a little something. I like the lead. The lead is kind of, the lead got a little to it. Let me throw this through. I kind of want to try something new. Let me see. Shadow Hills, nah. You know what? I really, the black box, I keep going back to it because it's such a reliable type of tube sound. All right, you know what kind of drums we got to come with this one. It can't be the traditional. You know what I'm saying? We gotta go with what's going right now. You know what I'm saying? Actually, you know what? I got my perfect little kind of trappy type snare, like this one too. It's a shame my 2019 snare is the closest thing I had to a trap snare these days. Oh, I kind of like that kick too. Oh, you know what? I think I do got some dope little trap kits that I downloaded. Let's see. That snare gonna do it for me. Rim shots is back, aren't they? I like the back and forth better. I think I'm gonna copy that to here and then pitch one down. Bro, I keep hitting. I wish y'all could see this. I keep hitting the. I go to the program, right, and I mean to hit the all button and turn it to a single pad. Let me show you real quick. This button up here, I keep hitting the key group button, so I keep turning these joints into key groups instead of hitting this one. Ridiculous. So I just made 2 key groups I'm not going to use. But you know what? That's probably not a bad idea to use it as a key group. Yo, sometimes I be in my own way. Let me hit the 808 first, because that's really what I need before I hit them drums. down real quick on the lead. Joints is clashing. All right, let me clear that out. Take that lead out, man. It's killing me. One thing I can't say about this OPX4, it's got a lot of effects. I don't know how to use all of them though. Sounds kind of cool. I don't know why it's so much lower than the other sounds though. It's like they don't match. Come back to that. You know, it's a good opportunity to use half speed. I be forgetting all about half speed. half speed, half time. All right, I had to get that out of my system, man. Every once in a while, I just got to get a trap beat out. Oh man, sorry for neglecting y'all. Let's see where we at. Chat screen. And let me pull up the chat. Shout out to Faceman Rowe. Glad to have you back, big dog. Appreciate you, man. It means a lot, bro. Your man said Hustle and Flow Club shootout scene. Yo, I ain't seen that movie in a long time, man. Oh man. Freddy Krueger playing the harp right now. Oh man. My man Chevy Boss. Get it, get it, JJ. Yo, you funny, man. Glad to see you back on site. Appreciate it, man. I really do, man. Y'all really been showing a lot of love this week. And yeah, man, I'm just encouraged to get back on here and do my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say that too, man. Even though it's not my style, you never know what people are gonna like. The funny thing about cooking up live is like, you know, if you make something that's like you're not feeling, it's like you can't take it back. I guess you can delete the whole stream, but it'd be a total waste. He just named this joint. Works for me. Yeah, man. But yeah, I think I'm gonna kick back on that note, man. Might go hit the rest of this 6-pack. What y'all getting into tonight? You guys hitting the lab tonight? Any particular tools y'all looking at? You know what I'm saying, that came out this week that you guys are gonna be messing around with? I haven't really been shopping around much lately. Waiting to see what Akai is dropping next. Not like I necessarily need it. I mean, obviously the X is phenomenal, but whatever they drop, it's going to be interesting. And, you know, I gotta show y'all what's up with it, you know what I mean? And definitely cook up with it, whatever it is. So I can't wait to get my hands on whatever Akai is dropping soon, man. It should be, I don't know timetable wise, but it's heating up, man. There's a lot of talk, a lot of chatter. Anytime stuff gets this, the leaks get this good, like as far as that XL leak they were showing, I don't know. It seems pretty legit to me. So we'll see, man. But I'm looking forward to that. What else? I'm trying to see what else I've been looking forward to. Gear wise, I've been pretty happy. I ain't gonna front y'all. Like, I'm really enjoying everything I have. There's really not enough time to use everything I have so far. So it's kind of, I actually was about to trade the X for a 4000. I was looking for somebody who had a 4000. Not because I think the X is, you know, not as good as a 4K, but I don't have any legacy MPCs. I have access to these new ones really easily, you know, because of my platform. So I'm able to get my hands on them from, you know, various different distributors and stuff to test them out and, you know, work with them. And then, you know, I also had a live too. So, you know, this isn't my only current gen MPC. So I've been looking to get my hands on some vintage joints, but the one that had the sound that I really was interested in hearing was the 4000, because it had that, you know, what was it called, the Q4000 or something, the Q4 sample engine, something like that. But whatever that sample engine was that was on the 4000, I always wanted to hear what it sounded like. They said that was one of the best sounding MPCs because it had all the different resolutions and stuff. So I've been looking to get my hands on a 4K. So whether somebody trades me for the X, or I end up selling the X and just, you know, just trying to find a good deal on a 4K, I definitely want one. I know they're big and they're kind of bulky, but just looking to switch it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I definitely, I love the X, the ergonomics of it, but sound wise, it doesn't really, you know, doesn't sound any different than my Touch did, or the Live. So I love, you know, the modern sound of the MPCs as far as the dynamic range and everything that they have, but just looking to try some different textures in the studio. I really don't have any vintage gear. Everything I have in here is pretty new, including the pedals and stuff. So just looking to try some old stuff in the lab. Remington says, I'm gonna try to finish sampling and processing my PS30. Is that a keyboard, bro? You making key groups out of it? Lifted waiting on that mini live. Yeah, if there's a mini live, that would be fire. I'd probably end up getting it because I really like my live too. It's just a little big. Like it fits. I have a bag that it fits in, but everybody says that bag looks like a jetpack. So I can take it with me, but when I do travel, it would be cool to have something smaller. So like, you know, if they did make a mini live, that would be fire. I haven't really heard anything that's definitive about that, or makes a whole lot of sense, but excuse me. Yeah, I think it would be dope. I don't know how you would shrink it. Maybe, I'm trying to think the live too, how you would shrink it. Maybe give it like MPC One pads, like the smaller pads, and make the transport smaller. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Squash the buttons together a little more, but I don't really know how you would make it much smaller. But that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? If they do, maybe make the buttons smaller like the One, and then, you know, make the pad smaller like the One. But I like that kind of side by side layout of the live. You know what I mean? So I hope they wouldn't change that. Some people are talking about it's like a MPC One with a battery. That's kind of cool too. But I wouldn't want to give up the speaker. The speaker is too essential for me. You know what I'm saying? When you're cooking up in front of people, or just cooking up by yourself, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't like wearing headphones all the time. Like, you know, I got some decent headphones, but these are starting to get a short just because, you know, I've been taking them up and downstairs. Headphones cost too much, man. You know what I'm saying? If you can have something where you don't need the headphones, it's a lot more fun. I usually cook up with my Live 2 in the garage, and I have a lot of fun with it. Masada said, I'm looking forward to what UAD drops. I already know what Akai is doing. Yeah, you got that inside track. UAD, are they talking about releasing new interfaces or something? I was telling somebody on MPC Gang in a comment that the Volt, I love the Volt so much, man. The Volt is such a good, like, it sounds amazing. You know what I'm saying? And it's such a good interface as far as sound quality. It's built like a tank. It runs off USB-C. So it's, you know, it's portable. What I was telling somebody is, like, if they made the Volt and gave it like 6 or 8 channels, and then they made it in a mixer format, like, you know, with some faders, kind of like the Model 12, man, they would make a killing, bro. They would make a killing, because it's not even like, with those quality of preamps that they have in there, and then having, you know, just having faders you can use with it, man, that joint would be sick. It's just the best sounding interface I've heard personally. I mean, I know there's some higher end ones, but especially for like $300, $400 price point, the Volt sounds so good, man. UAD is like, they ain't no joke, man. John Connor said built-in compressor. What are you referring to, bro? Bad Lucks. If the mini live is real, when it drop, and will older MPCs be left out of the loop? I don't know. I mean, it's, you know, it's just different form factors. You know what I'm saying? you know, it's like the Apple thing. So, you know, I would imagine it would probably, if it had a speaker, it would definitely cut into the Live 2's market share, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think they would mind, you know what I'm saying? I don't I don't think it's bad to cannibalize your line if you're making like around the same amount of profit. So you know, I mean, camera companies like usually hold back certain features and stuff like that, but Kai doesn't really do that. The One and the X all use the same stuff, have the same features. It's really just an IO type of thing. So I think it's pretty cool how they set up the tiers. I don't think a mini Live would really hurt anything. I think except maybe the Live 2 sales if it had a speaker. Yeah, man. If UAD made a mixer, bro, it would be crazy. And it's like it doesn't even have to be like a super high end one. Like I know they have like expensive, you know, $2,000-$3,000 mixers or something that I've seen, but if it was kind of like the Model 12, you know, where it was like or the SSL, that little one that they have, the Big Six or whatever. If it was kind of like that type of form factor, I'd be all over it, bro. Oh, the built-in compressor. Yeah. The built-in compressor's all right, man. I don't mess with it too much because I don't do a lot of vocals, but the little bit I have messed with it, it sounds good, man. It's a really good unit. Like they really hit it out the park. You can tell they hit it out the park because they dropped a second one with the third and fourth inputs on the front, like in a year or less. So, you know, that thing was definitely a hit. And I'm not even mad about the third and fourth ones. I have the original Volt 476 and the 3 and 4 is on the back. And I don't even mind it because I just run my MPC 3 and 4 into it and then I resample through it. So I use the Volt for my MPC interface. It sounds so good, I can't even use the MPC's built-in interface anymore. It just runs circles around it. So great little unit, man. But yeah, bro, I'm about to get back to the fam. Maybe finish up the rest of this brewski. I said I got these cherry wheats too, so I'm probably about to hit 1 or 2 of them. Or I might just wait because I like to drink them with a good meal, man. Like if I have you know, somebody cook a steak or something, or I don't know, grill something. They're really good to eat with like burgers or something off the grill. So maybe I'll do that this weekend. But yeah, man, I'm excited about this weekend. I got some work to do, but I'll probably get some time to cook up and everything, and I'll probably end up shooting a video tomorrow, so I can drop something Monday. So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in today. I know it wasn't the most exciting stream, but yeah, I'm just looking to kick it with y'all, man. Fridays before we get in the lab, you know, sometimes guys are driving home, just need something to watch. You know what I'm saying? While you're heading back to the crib, man. So good luck cooking up in y'all lab, man. Make sure if you're in MPC Gang, make sure you show us what you're working on, man. I like scrolling through there and hearing what everybody's working on. So catch you on the next stream, y'all. Appreciate you tuning in. Peace.